Yo, what's up, guys? This is your boy Bumblebee here, and today I'm gonna be talking about Far Cry 6, the new upcoming Far Cry game that's gonna be coming out in October 7th, 2021. And let me tell you, this game's got me. I'm actually excited for this game. I'm actually very excited, and I actually saw some of the gameplay for it too. And let me tell you, the gameplay, the guns, the open world looks crispy. You know what's also, and this is something new in Far Cry 6. We actually get to see our main character this time in third-person cutscenes, which is very cool. And believe it or not, it's actually not the first time that they're doing this. They actually had something like that in the very first Far Cry game. And yeah, the very first Far Cry game that was created by Crytek, not Ubisoft. But then Crytek gave the Far Cry series to Ubisoft, like way back in the early 2000s. So yeah. Anyway, let's talk about the gameplay. Now the gameplay looks good so far. What I noticed is that they haven't improved the enemy AI in Far Cry 6. They really haven't improved it. I would think about it, guys. I would really love to have like smart enemy AI that actually does smart things, like say for instance, like you use a sniper rifle, you shoot an enemy in the leg, and the enemy is like calling for his comrade to help him, and he drags him to safety. That would be something new. They actually had something like that in Far Cry 2. Yeah. And what I would also like is to like say for instance, you cause trouble, right? You shoot one of the enemy's comrades. They try to chase you down, and then you end up losing them. You manage to successfully lose them, but if you come back to the same area where you just caused the trouble, like this is something I would really like for them to add, like a new feature that would make the enemy AI really smart. Like if you come back to the enemy's area, the same area where you just got through killing all those enemies, the enemies will start recognizing you if you're wearing the exact same clothing. Like that would be something that would be very cool. That would be a cool feature to have. Like I would love that. Please Navid Kavar, please make the AI a bit more smarter. Because if you make the AI more smarter, that it would make it way more immersive. Like please do that. And here's another thing I saw in the gameplay: the fucking weapons in Far Cry 6. Let me tell you, the weapons look crispy. They honestly look way more immersive and all dirty, rusty, broken in than in Far Cry 5. I love the makeshift weapons, and they had the makeshift weapons in Far Cry New Dawn, which is the game that I never played and never will, because Far Cry New Dawn felt more like a Borderlands game. It's like they were trying to make like Borderlands, Fallout, and what's that other game called? I forgot what the other game's called. Fortnite with the fucking outfits and shit. The outfits in Far Cry New Dawn were fucking stupid. The outfits were honestly very, very dumb, and I didn't appreciate that. I really did not like the outfits. It seems like they were trying to please everyone with Far Cry New Dawn, because it's like they were combining Far Cry 3, Far Cry 4, Far Cry 5, Far Cry Primal, and Far Cry Blood Dragon, all those games into one game. Far Cry New Dawn, it honestly, why did it was a good idea to even make a game like Far Cry New Dawn? I would have been fine if it was just a DLC and it had nothing to do with it, and it wasn't like a sequel to, or a spin-off series to Far Cry 5. I would have been fine with that if it was just a separate game. It was not connected to the Far Cry main storyline of Far Cry. But anyway, enough of Far Cry New Dawn. Let's get back to the fucking weapons. Now, The makeshift weapons in Far Cry 6 looked way cooler than in Far Cry 5. I love what they did with the weapons, with the Discos Locos Tacos singing Macarena, which is also one of the most iconic songs in music history. And I love the Tostador, the flamethrower, and the fucking nail gun. Oh my god. I can't wait to use those weapons. Now here's another thing that I would like for them to do for the weapons in Far Cry 6. Let us actually customize our weapons, please, and let us give them different paint jobs. Like, that would be awesome. That would be very, very cool. Like, please let us do that, Navid Kavari. Please. But I'm pretty sure they are going to do that, because it's going to be very, very weird if they think about it. It'll be very weird if they didn't add that in the new Far Cry game. Just like how they did with Far Cry New Dawn. Where in Far Cry New Dawn, you can't even fucking choose whichever. You can't pick a different paint job for your guns. But I hope they do. I hope they actually let you give your guns paint jobs in Far Cry 6. I really hope they do that. And what I also another thing what I also love about the weapons that Navid Kavari he said he made Far Cry 6. The location of Far Cry 6 is based on the fictional version of Cuba, which is a real life place that's like stuck in time, you know. And Navid Kavari explained the way how he took inspiration from Cuba is with the weapons is he had a talk, him and his people had some talk with some real life Cuban guerrilla fighters, and the guerrilla fighters were explaining that they said something like they had to make do of what they had in Cuba during the revolution, and they explained that some people would shoot guns for their country and for the flag, while some will mostly do it for fun and get a good kick out of it. Which I hope we get to. Which I really hope we. They said they're gonna add more and more weapons. There's gonna be they said that Far Cry 6 is gonna have the biggest variety of weapons than any other Far Cry game, and I really hope they actually deliver. And I hope it's not just a gimmick, because if anyone remembers Cyberdunk, which is AKA Cyberpunk 2077, created by CD Projekt Red, who fucking lied their asses off with all the delays and shit. But I was fine with the delays. It's pretty understandable. You gotta finish polishing a game. You know what I'm saying? Make sure it's to everyone's liking. But yeah. In Cyberpunk, there was they actually had weapons, but the variety of weapons were just duplicates of the same gun you've been using over and over again with a different damage radius or whatever you want to call it, or a different name, like the fucking I don't know, the Devil's Fire or something, like the Devil's Fire shotgun. So yeah, in that game, Cyberdunk 2077 had weapons, but the variety of weapons were pretty shit, because you were just using the same guns. So yeah, you were just using fucking duplicates of the same guns in that game. So I hope they don't do anything like that in Far Cry 6. I really hope they don't do anything like that in Far Cry 6. I can't, but if they actually manage to actually pull it off, give us brand new different weapons we haven't really seen or used in a Far Cry game. I saw in the gameplay trailer that they added in a new grenade launcher, and I was like, oh hell yeah, we actually get to use a new grenade launcher. But I also would love for them to add new explosives, a new equipment or something. I saw that you can use an EMP grenade in Far Cry 6, because in Far Cry 6 they added security cameras, so you gotta walk right past those cameras. Or you can use an EMP grenade to turn the cameras off, which is something very cool. I really like that. So I can't wait to see to see the different variety of weapons of Far Cry 6. I think it might, the variety of weapons might end up being something like, I would say like 80 or 100. I don't know. Who knows? All we can do is wait, guys. All we can do is wait. But anyway, here's another thing I would like to talk about. The fucking, oh yeah, I guess you could say the characters. I also love that we can actually have a voiced protagonist again. And oh man, it's so good to see that we actually get a voice protagonist, man. Guys, you have no idea, but I know you guys. If any of you guys are like Far Cry fans, I know you guys feel the same way. That you're also happy we're getting a voice protagonist again for Far Cry 6. His name is Danny Rojas. You can either play as a male or female Danny Rojas, and they're fully voiced. And what I also love about about how they add something new in Far Cry 6 is that you actually get to see your character this time in cutscenes. You get to see in third-person cutscenes. Now I know the Far Cry fans are gonna have some issues and gonna like complain about that. Like, probably not gonna like that because the Far Cry fans, even myself as a Far Cry fan, we've gotten used to having first-person cutscenes where, like, you know, the villain got all up in your face and he was talking to you all crazy and shit, doing crazy-ass shit to people right in front of you, like killing your best friend shit, or killing innocent pedestrians just to prove a point. Yeah, I know some of the fans are gonna miss that, but I think it's a good opportunity to put, like, third-person cutscenes in a Far Cry game so we can actually connect more with our character. Because think about it, you have to have a duality or a rivalry with the hero and the villain. So they actually did something like that with Jason Brody and Voss Montenegro in Far Cry 3, and I hope we get to see something pretty similar, something like that in Far Cry 6. Who knows? All we can do is wait. And what else? Oh yeah, I also like that Navid Kavari and the dev team explained that you're not going to be having human companions anymore, which I'm perfectly fine with that, because in Far Cry 5, whenever you do meet a human companion, they didn't give them any intro scene or any fucking back. Well, they did. I'm pretty sure they did give the character's backstory in Far Cry 6. Not Far Cry 6. My bad. I'm talking about Far Cry 5. So yeah. And by the way, I actually forgot the side characters' names in Far Cry 5, because honestly, they weren't even that interesting or had that much of an impact on the story. But it looks like that in Far Cry 6, that's gonna be different. The characters you meet in Far Cry 6 are gonna have an impact. But who knows? Again, all we can do is wait. And I'm actually glad they're sticking for Far Cry 6. They stuck with more animal companions like Chorizo, the sausage puppy. He's very cute, by the way. Such a deadly, adorable companion to have. And Guapo the crocodile. And I love how in Far Cry 6 we actually see the crocodile swim this time. Yes, we actually get to see the crocodile swim this time, which is awesome. I'm so happy that the crocodiles in Far Cry 6 are not stationary enemies. Excuse me, like in the previous Far Cry games. Like ever since Far Cry 3, the crocodile has been more of a stationary animals. Like they've always stayed in the exact same place, but if you got close to them, they would jump out and lash at your arm. But in Far Cry 6, you actually get to see crocodiles actually swimming this time. Yes, thank goodness. And and it looks like we're gonna be meeting some pretty interesting characters in Far Cry 6. Like, especially with the cutscenes, they look interesting. And Navid Kavari explained that each guerrilla you meet is gonna tell you their different reasons or purposes of why they're joining the revolution. Like, I love that. They showed something like Sucker Punch showed something like that in Ghost of Tsushima, like how Sensei Ishikawa. The only reason why Sensei Ishikawa joins because he's trying to find his rogue student. What's their name? I forgot what his student's name was, but yeah, that was the only reason why he joined the fight against the Mongols in Ghost of Tsushima. And like how Lady Masako joined because Jin Sakai gave her hope because her family was assassinated. Everyone in her family was assassinated, and you would actually feel bad for her. I hope they do something I hope they do something like very similar to that with the characters in Far Cry 6. Like that would be awesome. Nothing like too similar, but like something, you know what I'm saying? Something like that, you know? And once again, I am so happy that we actually have a real protagonist with a real full name, Danny Rojas. The male version is played by Sean Ray. The female version of the voice actor, I forgot her name, but yeah, I know what she looks like, but I straight up forgot her name, guys. I'm sorry. I actually forgot her name. And let me be honest with you, I honestly didn't give a fuck about the deputy in Far Cry 5. Like the fucking deputy in Far Cry 5 was just some mute, voiceless fuckboy that it felt like you were just witnessing everything. It felt like you weren't important enough in Far Cry 5 and New Dawn. It felt like you were just witnessing everything. You didn't feel like you were part of something bigger, and I miss that feeling. Like, I really hated how, like, in Far Cry 5, you play as a silent protagonist. I don't know why they decided to go with that decision. I don't know why they did that. Like, couldn't they... Like, I don't get it. Like, couldn't they have hired any voice actors for the deputy? And the deputy's name in Far Cry 5. The deputy's name in Far Cry 5 is literally just Deputy. Deputy is probably the most unrelatable protagonist we had in the series. I just don't like the deputy. He sucks. And he doesn't even use a fucking knife. He just uses a fucking shovel, a bat and shit. Which, I get they were trying to do something new, like, but still, they should have given us the knife again and give us blunt weapons. Like they should have done something like, let us go to the weapon shop and actually change our melee weapons or something. Fucking do something. Ugh. So yeah, the fucking deputy in Far Cry 5 sucked ass. Like, and I know you guys are probably saying that, well, of course no one gives a shit about the protagonist because everyone mostly cares more about the villains in Far Cry games. And I actually agree with that, but if you think really hard about it, like, you gotta have a protagonist and a villain, like a real protagonist, a protagonist you can actually relate with. Even if you can or can't relate with them at all. Like, think about it. You gotta have a duality between the two. Like a rivalry or something. Like in Far Cry 3. Like, I don't know why Ubisoft thought that was a good idea for Far Cry 5's protagonist. I swear, again, the deputy sucked ass. And I'm glad we're getting a real protagonist in Far Cry 6 again. Danny Rojas looks like a badass. A protagonist with an actual personality. Like, I miss that. Like, fuck the deputy, honestly. I'm sorry to all you Far Cry 5 fanboys out there, but honestly, fuck the deputy. He sucks. That's just my opinion. He just sucks. He's lame. Anyway, moving on. Let's see. What else am I talking about? Oh yeah, the fucking the main villain. I hope we actually get to see the main villain more in cutscenes, but not like too much. I hope we don't get to see the main villain too many times in the cutscenes. Like, try to do some. I hope they do something to balance the cutscenes out with the main villain. but I know that Anton Castillo is gonna steal the show in Far Cry 6. He's played by Giancarlo Esposito. Oh my god, Giancarlo Esposito is an amazing actor. Like, he was on Breaking Bad, The Mandalorian, Better Call Saul. Shit. Bro, I hope they like put a what's that restaurant called? Los Pollos Tacos or something? I hope they put an Easter egg, something like that, in Far Cry 6. Like, oh my god. And I hope they actually make... And it looks... So far, Anton Castillo looks like a menacing villain. He honestly looks... He feels way more menacing than Joseph Seed ever did. I'm gonna be for real with you. And the twins... Who cares about the twins? You couldn't even take the twins seriously in Far Cry New Dawn. You just couldn't take them seriously. Like this one scene where you get captured by them, you see them kill one of your dudes with the fucking motorcycle helmet, and they're like, "Oh, raw!" And am I supposed to take those twins seriously? Are we supposed to be intimidated by them? Like, fuck, get the fuck out of here. Oh, excuse me. Anyway, what else was I going to talk about? Oh yes, the open world. Looking at the open world so far, it looks very promising in Far Cry 6. And it looks crispy as fuck. It gave me like Far Cry 3, Far Cry 4, and Far Cry 2 vibes. Like, bruh. And I miss that feeling. Oh my god. Like, god damn. It looks... Man, they really did a pretty good job with the open world so far. But I know they showed us a good proportion of what's to come in the open world. And that's here's something I would like for them to add in the open world. I know that we saw in the gameplay reveal trailer that we can play dominoes. Finally, we can do something else besides just shooting. Like, don't get me wrong, I like playing shooting games, but I want to do something else in an open world game. Like, give us some mini games or activities to do. Like, come on, bro. Oh yeah, here's another thing I want to talk about. We got a city this time in Far Cry 6, the Esperanza. And, oh my god, the good old capital city. Here's one thing I would love for them to do in the capital city. Give us, like, vertical... Let us, like, climb on buildings. Like, let's do some crazy-ass parkour shit. Like you can, like, fucking... hang on, guys. Hang on. Alright, I'm back. I'm sorry for the interruption. Someone needed me. Someone in my family needed something. But anyway, here's another thing I would like for them to have in the capital city in Far Cry 6. Like, let us go inside interiors. Like, this is since they're making they said this is gonna be the biggest expansive map they ever made in a Far Cry game. So let's go inside interiors. Like, come on, please, Navari, please put them. Please let us go inside interiors, please. And here's another thing I would like for them to add. Like, let us actually eat food. Let's actually buy food. Like, whenever we go. Like they have these little food vendors when you're like not at the city, or like add like a little food market or something. Please, I would love for them to add something like that. Like, please. That would be so cool. And let us buy some like clothes from like the store or something. That would also be very cool too. And let us have like some kind of let us have some kind of like eating contest or something. I don't know, something. Come on, Navi Kavari, do something. You're making an expansive open world. Surely you got some cool ideas for it. Let us actually go inside interiors in Far Cry 6, please. And here's another thing. Here's another thing I wanted to say. The clothing. Now, looking at the clothing in Far Cry 6, I actually love the clothing in Far Cry 6 so far. It looks very cool. I'm glad it doesn't look too outrageous like in Far Cry New Dawn with the fucking gorilla helmet and the fucking knight armor and shit with the blood dragon outfit, Rex Power Colt outfit in Far Cry New Dawn. I'm glad they didn't do anything like that in Far Cry 6, but who knows? They're still working on the game, so again, all we can do is wait and see until October 7th, which happens to be right around my birthday. So yeah, looking at the clothing in Far Cry 6, it looks very cool. It doesn't look too bland like in Far Cry 5 or too outrageous in Far Cry New Dawn. To me, it actually looks well balanced. And I know they're gonna add some. And since that we can actually, now that we can actually have third-person cutscenes and actually see our character, it actually makes up for it too. It really does. Because think about it, it really makes up for it. You actually get to see your character for the first time in the Far Cry game. Well, actually not the first one. They did it in Far Cry 1, the first Far Cry game. And yeah, what else did I want to talk about? Oh yeah, there's been rumors on the internet saying that Far Cry 6 is actually a prequel to Far Cry 3. Like, if it's true, I hope they do something like clever, because in the cinematic trailer, especially in the gameplay reveal, there's been like you see these fucking modern cell phones in the cutscene. So yeah, now this would be convincing if Far Cry 6 was a prequel, if they show you the characters using stuff like old school vintage shit, like a fucking cassette player or an old school photo. Now that would actually be very convincing, but Navid Kavari did explain that Yara is a country frozen in time, and everything's been cut off from the rest of the world, so it makes you feel like you and everyone else, you and the rest of the guerrillas, are like truly alone, and like you're gonna have to fight them on your own, which is the feeling I'm sure is gonna give us, which is something that I'm pretty sure I'm gonna like. And excuse my dog. It's okay, guys. That's just my dog. She wants to go outside. But I just gave her flea spray because I don't want her to go outside and get any more fleas. Yeah, they don't like that flea spray stuff. Yeah. But anyway, moving on back to Far Cry 6. Yeah, I'm gonna have to close the door. What's wrong? I did you a favor. I had to spray so you won't get any more fleas again. Okay? I'm gonna have to close the door, okay? So, yeah, anyway, guys. Yeah, back to Far Cry 6. I'm sorry for the interruption. You know, but it is what it is. Anyway, what I would also, I hope they add like some new, I'm pretty sure, I know that they added new vehicles, and I know they're not going to give us the same old vehicles that we've been seeing ever since Far Cry 5. Because ever since what the fuck am I thinking? Far Cry 3, Far Cry 3. I don't know, they just kept using the same vehicle models since Far Cry 3, which got very repetitive and old. And I would I would really like to see some brand new vehicles. Like, come on. But I know that they're adding new vehicles, so that's good. That's actually very good. I heard that they're going to be adding the gyrocopter back. Since they're making an open world that expansive in a Far Cry game, they had to add. They would have to have more vehicle variety too. Like, come on, I'm sure they are gonna add some more vehicles in Far Cry 6. Like, that would be fucking cool. I heard they're bringing the hovercraft back. The flip, the hovercraft you got to use in Far Cry 4, which was very awesome to use, especially the gyrocopter. And what else do I want to talk about? Oh yeah, I feel like. Okay, here's some things that really worries me about Far Cry 6. I hope that I hope the story doesn't be disappointing. I hope the story doesn't be like, I don't think the story will be disappointing. What was it? Oh yeah, I hope that what was it? Damn. Shit. I hope in Far Cry 6 they don't give us a big middle finger ending like how they did in Far Cry 5. Because in Far Cry 5, if you resist Joseph Seed, you get to fight him and defeat him, but guess what? He was right. A nuclear explosion goes off. A nuclear bomb goes off. That means World War III happened. Which was something I did. Like, what the hell? Are you serious? But if you walk away, you get another bad ending. So there's no good such thing as a good ending in Far Cry 5, which sucked ass, which made no sense to me. Like, geez, like, bro, come on, they could have done better with Far Cry 5's ending. Like, the ending in Far Cry 5 sucked ass. Oh yeah, and here's another thing. I hope they don't give us the bullet spongy enemies like how they did in New Dawn. But looking at the gameplay, the enemies seem to have dropped much faster. They seem to have dropped pretty quickly in Far Cry 6. Which actually convinces... You know what? Excuse me. I saw that somewhere on Reddit, I believe, or somewhere on Twitter, that there's this website. You go to Reddit and you ask the developers questions. Like, you ask them questions like, is the wingsuit coming back? What is the story like? Will we get the same bullet spongy enemies like in New Dawn? Will they give us? Will we have like human companions? But they said the devs response they're not gonna have nothing like that, which is good news. Thank goodness. But I would also here's another thing I'm worried about. I saw that the streets in Esperanza seemed pretty empty almost. Like, I hope that's not the case when the final version of the game comes out. I really hope we actually get to see people walking the sidewalks in Esperanza. Like, please, please, Navi Kavari, don't make the open world feel empty and shit like how it was in Far Cry 5. Because after you complete the main story of Far Cry 5, the open world felt very lifeless and empty. But looking at Far Cry 6, you actually get to see trees sway a lot, which is something they didn't put in Far Cry 5. Oh yeah, and I just thought of something. Here's another thing I would want them to bring back. I would love for them to bring back the be able to like kick stuff. Like, you get to kick barrels, little containers. You can kick barrels over like you could do in Far Cry 4. In Far Cry 5, they wouldn't let you do that for some weird reason. Like, it broke the immersion. Like, come on. I hope they bring that back in Far Cry 6. You actually get to kick barrels over. Like, I would love for them to bring that back. Like, come on. I hope they actually do bring it back. And I know they sort of the weapon sounds in Far Cry 6 sound a bit more better in Far Cry 5. I guess that's what I'll say. Yes, I guess that's the next thing I'll say. What else? What else? Oh yeah, I'm sure they'll bring back co-op. I know they're gonna bring back co-op. It would be very weird if they didn't bring back co-op, like two-player co-op. But what I would also like for them to bring back, I would love for them to bring back the fucking, or give us a real multiplayer. The multiplayer in Far Cry 5 sucked ass. It felt like you were just playing another Far Cry arcade map. They didn't in Far Cry 5. They didn't put no effort into the multiplayer at all. The multiplayer looked shitty. It looked very shitty. Like, no bullshit, guys. So I really hope they give us a real multiplayer. I really hope. Fingers crossed, guys. I really hope they give us a real multiplayer again. Like, please give us a real multiplayer again. And here's another thing. I would like, please give us smart AI. Give us better driving too. Like give us a feature like whatever vehicle you're driving, it has different tuning to it if that's what you say or something. I don't know. Like, what I'm trying to say is whatever vehicle you drive in has a different handling. Like, that would make it even just as immersive. That would make the driving very immersive. Like, please, that would be something very cool. And I love that they're letting us. Again, I'm glad that we're giving us more animal companions, which is something very cool. I really appreciate that, because it felt like they were trying to do too much with Far Cry 5. I think the reason why Far Cry 5 was in the state that it was ever since launch is because I think they were focusing more on the fucking arcade mode, which that isn't a good thing. You gotta work on the fucking the main game. You gotta work on the story, the characters, the open world. So yeah, the open world in Far Cry 5 felt very, very abandoned, and I didn't like that. And I wonder what kind of animals they're gonna be. I know they're gonna bring animals in Far Cry 6 from Cuba, since Yara is a fictional version of Cuba. And we know there's we know there's not gonna be like fucking bears this time. Like bears in the jungle. I mean, they got away with that in Far Cry 3. But bears in a fictional country of Cuba, I don't see that happening. I really don't see that happening. But I can't wait to see what kind of animals they're gonna be having. I'll be perfectly fine if they added like less animals, or I don't know, or something like how Sucker Punch did with Ghost of Tsushima. I was fine with that, because Ghost of Tsushima was a very immersive open world game, and it honestly should have became the game of the year. But no, these SJW fucktards had to just fucking just have to ruin everything, just rig the Game Awards. The Game Awards were fucking rigged by these SJW fucking rainbow-haired, pink-haired, fucking pink choker weirdos. But anyway, here's since we're so yeah, I just can't wait for Far Cry 6 to come out. But I am gonna be a bit cautious a little bit, because I really don't want Far Cry 6 to end up becoming a very disappointment like how Cyberpunk was. And I was not even interested in Cyberpunk when I saw the fucking gameplay reveal video. But as soon as I saw the advertisements, I was thinking about buying it a little bit. I was thinking about getting it a little bit. Hell, even one of my cousins were thinking about buying it, but I'm glad none of us didn't, because that game was ass. You know what's very sad? That my cousin told me that Dragon Ball Xenoverse is way more mainstream and playable there are way more people playing that game than Cyberpunk, and that's very sad. And I've heard some news from CD Projekt Red that things have gotten a lot worse for them. Like goddamn, things just keep on getting worse for CD Projekt Red. And they actually, in a way, they actually brought this on themselves, guys. I was gonna say you could kind of feel bad for them, but after that bullshit behavior, all those fucking lies and shit, you almost feel bad, but at the same time you don't. But anyway, guys, I'm really excited for Far Cry 6. Again, I'm very worried. I don't want it to become disappointing like how Cyberdunk was. I really hope they actually truly deliver. And listen, guys, don't try to send death threats to Navid Kavari or any of the dev team. Please don't do that. Don't do that stupid ass shit like how some two random people on the internet did to CD Projekt Red. How two people sended death threats to CD Projekt Red if they don't release the game. Guys, don't be those people. Don't do that. Listen, guys. I'm perfectly fine with waiting. Listen, we're just gonna have to wait as long as we need to if we want a fully polished Far Cry game. That's why I want Far Cry 6 to be a full game, not some rushed piece of shit like how Cyberpunk was. And I really hope they actually put more time and effort in Far Cry 6 than they did in Far Cry 5. Because in Far Cry 5, they didn't really put that much effort in Far Cry 5, to me at least. And here's another thing I would like for them to bring back in Far Cry 6. The radio towers. Now listen, I know people in the past had problems with radio towers in the past Far Cry games, but I honestly didn't have any problems with that, because in Far Cry 4, if you liberated a radio tower, it gives you like extra XP and a brand new weapon. Even if that weapon wasn't a powerful weapon, it still gave you something. So yeah, I actually missed the radio tower. I hope they added something that back in Far Cry 6, because it feels like they removed it in Far Cry 5, because to me it feels like they removed it, one of Far Cry's trademarks. and here's some. Oh yeah, I hope they bring back crafting. Please bring back the crafting system in Far Cry 6. I would love the crafting system to be brought back. But they should also make the skinning animations a bit better, like how Rockstar did with Red Dead Redemption 2. Like, do something like that. Like, please, Ubisoft, come on, please do something like that. You're making one of the most expansive open world games, not one of the most expansive open world Far Cry games ever made. Like, please. I hope. Again, guys, I am pretty worried about Far Cry 6. I don't want it to become disappointing. I really want it to become an awesome Far Cry game. But all we can do right now is wait and see what they got in store for us. Anyway, I'm gonna end the video right here. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like, subscribe, and I apologize for someone interrupting my recording. Anyway, I'll see you guys later. Bye.